Hello.
Hey, hello.
We have the biggest of big shows today, Claude. I'm so
Okay, so
excited.
what's happening? I know you're excited. Tell us
Well,
what's
I'm gonna wait.
going on.
Well, we're gonna wait for a few seconds just to get some people in there with us. But big drum! Hey, Van Brown, how you doing? Mack Artistry.
Just join.
Yeah, it's just a big show. According to Will, hello, how you doing?
So
Yes.
what's just give us a little bit. Well, we've got the YouTube channel for you guys to check out.
Right.
The shows get posted there, so we like for you guys to follow, comment. Really appreciate those things. Also, you know, we're joining. I guess joining us today is going to be a very interesting day.
Yes.
Vicki's not speaking to it but it's really
Well, I just wanted to
an
wait
honor
until we
to
got some folks
her,
on.
you know, to her family, her father in particular.
Yes.
I'll just say that. So we just
Hey,
want to
Alicia.
celebrate and do some things that celebrate him, and for good reason. For
Yes.
good reason. And so we got some other interesting people that's going to come on today. Some of it is going to be a surprise, but for the most part, I think it's going to be a good time. We got Alicia joining.
Yeah, we've got, you remember her from A1 Swift,
Yes.
and now she has her own business. Alicia, I would say, but I don't remember the name off
We
the
got
top of my
Chris.
head. But we've got Cal Poly coming on. You guys, what we're talking about today is one of the greatest men I've ever met. And I know
Just got it.
some people have had a history not having a great dad, but I've had a great dad who's always been there with me. And so today we're honoring none other than my dad, Mr. Edwin D. Mack.
Okay.
Okay, and let me tell you.
What do we have? We got some folks have joined us.
Well, yeah, but first I want to set that up.
Okay.
I want to set up what we're talking about today. My dad went to Cal Poly, and in the 40s, in 1949, I think, or something like that. And we're going to find out how Cal Poly rediscovered my dad, and what did my dad do that they needed to find this man about. And so we've got today two incredible people. We've got Jenny. I'm going to say the name wrong. Let's the last name. Tognazzini.
Oh, good.
Okay, not so bad
And
at
then
all.
we've got Coach
Chris Baptista.
Hello.
From Cal Poly.
And then we have one other person here.
Well, we're going to wait on that one other person. We want to make sure my dad is on.
Okay.
And otherwise, we're going to have to bring my dad into the car because he's in the house next to us. So we've got someone else, a beautiful lady in the middle, that we're going to leave as a surprise for my dad. But this is to honor my dad, who on Christmas Day will be 94 years old. And, so without further ado, let's talk to the folks at Cal Poly. Hello.
Hi.
So who do we have first? We have Coach Baptista.
Yes, how are you
What
doing?
are you?
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? And Coach, I want to ask you a few. Who do we have on the other side?
No, that's
Jenna.
Jenna, how are you doing? So
I'm good.
we're gonna wait for my dad to get on. Yeah, you gotta move in just a little bit.
Sorry, I don't want to
There we
take
go,
up
there we
this
go.
beautiful face right
Oh,
here.
that's it. Okay, now
Okay.
we're cooking.
So Jenna, tell us why Cal Poly was looking for my dad, Edwin D. Mack.
Absolutely. And I can't take the credit for this at all. One of our communication specialists in athletics wanted to do a story on your father. It was actually to celebrate Black History Month. So the story was written back in February 21. And as you said, your father ran track in 49. He actually transferred from San Mateo College to Cal Poly. And he was actually the first ever individual championship in any event at Cal Poly. And he actually did long jump. Yeah, so super awesome.
Yes.
Back then, I think they called it broad jump.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, they called it
broad
broad
jump.
jump back then.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, he was the California collegiate athletic association champion. I think he jumped 23, 8 3/4. His first attempt that first year when he won, and then won again in 1950 as well.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
That's
you know
great.
what?
Yeah.
You guys, I think
Well,
we're gonna move my dad into the car because it doesn't seem like
Chanel,
the other
we'll
one
get
is
Chanel
working.
Chanel
Okay.
with it.
Okay. So, because I really wanted to see the surprise in the middle.
Right.
But so, you guys got a hold of my dad. Well, as I heard that he wasn't even aware quite that you were. I think that the person who called didn't even realize my dad was still alive. And,
I mean, he was 93, yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's Daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi.
The man, the myth, the legend. Hello.
Yes, there's my dad. So, Daddy, we have Jenna, who we met when we went to Cal Poly, and we've got Coach
She's the assistant
Baptista.
athletic director.
She's the assistant athletic director. And I actually have a little something on her, Dad. Jenna assumed her duties as director of development in March of 2019. She was promoted to assistant athletic director for development in December of 2019. And she's played on a women's softball team, as well as going to Providence College in Rhode Island. So, Dad, we wanted you to see and say hello to Jenna. And she
Wave, Jenna. Wave, Jenna.
Wave, Jenna. And
Hi,
she's
good
going
to
to
see
tell
you
a
again.
bit more about why they were looking for you. So, okay, Jenna, we'll let you keep going for a minute about how you were looking for Dad. And
Yeah, absolutely. So our former, he's no longer with us, but wrote a story, an article on your father, like I was saying, back in February of last year. And I think that really just sparked the relationship with your guys' family and wanting to create a legacy for your dad and for your family. I mean, what an achievement. He actually held that long jump record for, I believe, 11 years before it was
wow.
Yes. So it's amazing that, and I don't know how much you want me to go into details of one of the other reasons that we're on the call today. But, it was amazing that, your dad's 93 years old. We were able to connect with him. You and your entire family, champagne in the bag, everyone came up to visit Cal Poly this past summer. We were able to tour the family around the campus to see all the improvements, both on the academia side and also in athletics. And I know that was really special for Eddie and with your mom and all that.
That's incredible. And Coach, we have you want to talk a little bit about Coach Baptiste?
Well, Coach,
sorry.
Right. So, let's see, you joined you're a coach of track and field. Was it long jump?
No, he was track and field head coach in October of 2017. Okay. And you specialized in sprints, the long and triple jumps, and hurdles, and has served as an assistant coach at Fresno State from 2005 to 16 before spending 2017 in admissions at Alabama. And then you came on to Cal Poly. Right. Coach, Dad, you gotta keep your head up, Dad. Have you ever met Coach Baptista before?
We have not met. I've been here for 4 years, so yeah, we have not met.
Okay, so we missed you during the summer. So why don't you, Coach, why don't you give us a little history of the sports program? I know you guys, we've had some greats on through the years at Cal Poly. So give us a little rundown on some of that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when you talk about, a legacy in track and field at Cal Poly, and like I said, going back, and I know one of the things we kind of talked about this, kind of being full circle here, right? Your dad being one of the first champions. I mean, we've had over 709 All-Americans between all divisions at Cal Poly. Wow. Olympians, 25 25 team titles in Division II, and then 91 Division II national champions. So, when you talk about like history, and you look at the history books, the history books at Cal Poly rival any institution in the country. There's quite the legacy here.
And my daddy was the first one.
That's right.
Our dad.
Our dad. But Daddy, we have a surprise for you. Do you see that pretty young lady in the middle?
Yes.
That is the first recipient of the Edwin. Miss Karina.
Proud.
Dad, say? Oh, go ahead.
It makes me so proud because I went to Cal Poly on an athletic scholarship. And to think that now I can give back that scholarship back to somebody that needed it like I needed it back then. And that's what I'm so proud about.
Oh, you should be. Karina, what do you say about all that to meet this 94-year-old? Oh, he'll be 94 on Christmas. What do you think about all this?
I am just incredibly honored and blessed. You know, it's obviously school costs money, so it's nice to get a scholarship, but just to get this one means a lot more. Just who it's named after is a legend here at Cal Poly, and I'm just so grateful that I was picked to receive it. And so it's just amazing. I feel great.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And one of the things too, in talking about full circle here, right, is not only is it just somebody who's receiving it, but Karina is a jumper as well.
Right.
Yeah. Triple jumper. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, Daddy, you were a long jumper, and you're able to give a scholarship, and we want to continue to help. That's why we've got a lot of people out here.
Yeah, and
to help.
Yeah, and I just wanted to put in that when I did that back in the 48, 49, I believe, there were no girls on the campus.
Yeah.
And no girls on the track team.
All right.
So this makes it even better. But you know, I just wanted to get this in that my coach was Jim Jensen, and he came from City College. At the same time I came to Cal Poly, he recruited me to come with him to Cal Poly. And the athletic director was, I think it was Larry Mott. It was Mott. Who's the head of your?
I think it was
Back then, you're right. The athletic director was Mott. Yes, the namesake for our current gym, athletic center.
Yes, the Mott auditorium that we were at.
Yeah, the building I saw was named for Mott. And he was, when I was jumping, he was the athletic director. And I knew him very well. And I just want to say that.
Dad, you can say anything you want to say. Absolutely. We're just so incredibly proud of you, Daddy, as you know. We have some...
Did you want her to speak a little bit about being a student athlete?
Karina, tell us what it's like being a student athlete there and some of your other aspirations. I think you're majoring in psychiatry or psychology. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm actually in grad school for psychology, and so I'm in a program that trains to be licensed marriage and family therapist. So that is my goal, to be a therapist. But being a student athlete at Cal Poly is amazing. Like, I always think back to my decision to come to Cal Poly for grad school and to continue my track career here, and it's just like one of the best decisions I've ever made because I'm just incredibly blessed here. It's just the team dynamic and just the coaching. Coach Bap is amazing, but it's just like
all right,
it's just such a good experience on this team. And obviously San Luis Obispo is an amazing place to live with the beach and the city, and I come from up north, a cold place, so seeing the sun in December is very nice for me. Yeah, it's just an incredible experience, and it's great to be a student athlete at Cal Poly for sure.
Oh, that is so great. And you talked already a little bit about what it means to be a recipient. And normally, I guess when you get awards and scholarships, you don't get to meet the person. But I mean, what is that like?
Great opportunity, yes.
No, this is amazing because I did, I saw this scholarship on my financial aid and I was like, okay, I didn't really know who it was. And so to be here, like face to face with the person that it's named after is just full circle. It's like sometimes things just happen. You don't know where it comes from, but to see like the root of the scholarship and the meaning behind it, it means a lot. And I'm just like so happy that I was the recipient of it. It's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, we just think this is so great. And you guys, Shami, why don't you tell us a little bit about where people can join in the scholarship? And
yes. So you can go on Edwin D. Mack's Instagram page, and in the bio section there is a direct link to donate. It's real simple and easy. Right on his Instagram page. Just press on that link in the bio section.
Yeah. So, and for those of you who have never been to Cal Poly and San Luis Obispo, you guys, you cannot imagine this college. First of all, you're driving on the beach and looking at the ocean, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they're the Mustangs, and they've got all these real horses, Mustangs.
We went for Thanksgiving, and a Mustang walked up to me, and we had a moment, and I don't know if that means anything, but it walked up to me, and it said hi, and it was a whole Mr. Ed moment, and I just had to say that.
Oh, no, the campus looks.
It's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful campus. I was impressed.
Yeah, I was shocked. I went to UCLA, but I thought, wow, maybe I should have thought.
I'm a Big Ten guy. You know what I'm saying?
Were you ready to go back to college?
I miss you. That's who I am. But I was really impressed. Pardon me?
Daddy, what did you think about the way the
Yeah, I was just going to say. Yeah, I was impressed with Cal Poly when I was there. Cal Poly was a school where they had a lot of students that were 4-H. We used to win the 4-H with our bulls and all that. And I was impressed that we referred to parts of the college like up the hill or down the hill. Down the hill is where I lived in the gym. And across the street was the football field, and next to that was the railroad tracks, and trains would come by. And not only that, you could let some of the cars off and store them there, and some of the students, some of the athletes would room in those empty car.
It was tight.
They would live there. They were married students, and they would live there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So but what impressed me most was the fact that when I was there was only one building where we called on the hill, up the hill, just one building, and now everything's
No, it's beautiful.
There's nothing down the hill now. Everything's up the hill, and I'm just impressed because Cal Poly is a small city.
Yeah,
and
it is.
That because they got everything there. It's a small city.
Yeah, it really is. It's a gorgeous place.
Yes.
Well, Dad, you told us a really, really interesting story. And I know this doesn't have anything to do with the people that are on here now, but Karina, for you, it might make you even appreciate Cal Poly anymore. Dad, tell us the story of when you went as a young Black man and the rules they had for where you could go and you couldn't go in the city and all that. Tell us a little bit about that. That was something.
Well, when I first got there, they were telling me what you could do and where you could go and all this stuff. But this, during that time, was not just in San Luis Obispo. It was also in San Mateo, where I came from. So,
There wasn't nothing new.
yeah, I'm not saying, San Luis Obispo was like that, which it was, but it was all around the country like that. And
Well,
so,
how was that, Dad?
yes. Oh,
Like,
how
like
was it? Yeah.
what? Like, what do you mean by
Well,
like that? What?
like you say, when I first got there, they were telling me the athletic director, who was, I think it was Larry Mott. I'm not sure about the last name. I mean, first name. But anyhow, he had in his office, he had all the athletes that were on scholarship on the wall. And so, and that we had to work, I had to work in the cafeteria. I'd get up at like 6 o'clock and go to work and do a couple of hours. And then I would, go to my classes and stuff. But we were told, like the movies, there were 2 movies, and we could go to those 2 movies, and we were told you can get your clothes at such and such a place, and down by the bus stop, which was one of the main places because people would be traveling from San Francisco to Los Angeles, and the big stop was in San Luis Obispo. So in that little area, there were eating places, and you could eat.
So back then, there were still places that blacks could and could not go. And but I think it's really incredible how open armed, even back then, Cal Poly was to you guys.
Yeah.
And how they really had diversity and stuff there. So we applied for that. But see, Karina, it's so different now. They're not going to tell you can't go to a hotel, or some places you can't eat and stuff like that. But when my dad went, it was like that. Isn't that something?
Yeah. It was not only
Maybe
like
no
that.
women then.
Yeah, no women. There were no women there.
It was not only like that. When I was drafted in the service in 1950, and going from Fort Ord to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, I was on a bus in uniform, and we got to New Mexico about 12 o'clock in the evening, and there were other people, the civilians on the bus, and the driver said, okay, we can stop here. We haven't eaten all day. We can stop here and you can get a meal, a hamburger or something. So when I got to the front door, the guy said, oh, you can't come in here. Wait a minute, I've been all day trying to get to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and you're going to tell me I can't get in here to eat something? And all the other people, they were all white. I was the only black on the bus. All the other people had gone in and got seated and all that kind of stuff. And the guy says, well, you know what? It's not me. It's the system says that I can't serve you. But I'll tell you what I'll do. If you go around to the back into the store, there's a little storehouse. You can go in that storehouse and I'll bring you a hamburger back there and you can eat it. And so I graciously took that hamburger.
Because you were hungry. Wow. So it's so good to see someone like a Karina who can benefit off of the things you have all done, and we especially thank Cal Poly. But Shami, you have something you need to say?
Oh, I thought you were
No,
going to
you
say.
go ahead.
We want to just also mention that the True Legacy Scholarship is a True Legacy Scholarship because this pays out forever. Jenna, do you mind sharing a little bit more about the scholarship, or Coach Baptista, just to so I don't say anything incorrectly?
No, and you did great. So one thing,
Okay.
it was perfect. One thing I did want to mention, and Eddie, how you and your family set up this scholarship, it's not, so Karina's going to be able to benefit while she's at Cal Poly, but it's going to go beyond that. The way you guys did the scholarship, any additional gift that you guys are generating today or in honor of your dad's 94th birthday, it's gonna be invested by the foundation, and it's going to continue to grow, and it's going to pay out, like Shami said, forever, in perpetuity. So well beyond 20, 30 years from now, you're going to have a scholarship in your name. So it is, like she's saying,
right.
a true legacy that is going to be here as long as Cal Poly's here.
I am.
That's incredible. We have appreciate. Do I have to leave now?
Yes, we know you have to go, but it was
Appreciate your time.
that Coach Baptista want to talk about as far as the program, and if anyone's out there that is interested in joining I had to sneak on during Thanksgiving to just see how beautiful the track and field is at that level. It's gorgeous, and we did a FaceTime, so my grandfather was able to see it at a closer level. But do you mind sharing some of that with us?
Well, Steve Miller and John Capriati were very instrumental in helping us raise money for that new facility. And I remember even coaching at Fresno State, and even as a high schooler coming over here when Terry Crawford was the previous head coach. Always passing through, coming from the Central Valley, we'd go to Pismo, we'd go to Avila, go to Morro Bay. So this was a stop. A lot of my, high school friends went to Cal Poly, and just seeing the facility transform over the years, it's a beautiful venue. And standing out of practice, we have teams that come from around the state and even some out-of-state teams. And at our home track meets, they stand out there, and you see Bishop's Peak looking off, to the south, and the P up here on the mountain. I mean, it's a beautiful venue to be at. I think our student athletes really, take advantage of a first-class facility for us. It's a great venue, and we can't be, more thankful for the opportunities we've had and the people who invest in our program. And people that invest, I think sometimes people miss that, right? It's about the people who invest in the programs that help the programs grow, and that's an important part of it. So we honor and thank people that step up and really support the program, not just track, but athletics in general. And it makes a big difference to our student athletes who are here living it daily. Just they get to see that transformation and take advantage of that.
And then they're going to want to give back when they have successful careers.
We'll see you. Thank you for coming on. And Dad, you stay on the line. We've got a couple of more surprises. Thank you, Cal Poly. Thank you for
Could I?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very
You guys,
much.
we're going to
Appreciate
stay
you
on
guys.
and continue to have exciting discussions about my incredible dad. I want to shout out to my two sisters before they get mad. My sister, Dr. Kelly Mack, is on, and also my other sister, Leslie Mack, is on as well. And so now, Daddy, we have another surprise for you. You're gonna be excited about this surprise. There he is!
Okay, there he is. Okay.
Woo, Daddy, we have for you. Were you the captain of the football team last year?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Yes,
Daddy,
excellent.
we've got.
Well, let's do a little background. We know your mother very well.
Yes,
So
Lorraine.
yes,
Cecil.
and from different friends, and you probably, of course, Cody and everybody. So we're really excited when we're going to do that. We wanted to come up and watch some of the games this season, but Eddie's schedule was crazy. Ours was crazy when we found out. But I heard you had a good season, so that's great, and really excited that you came to join us. We really appreciate it to celebrate Mr. Mack, Eddie's Vicky's father. So. You have some questions, or you want to give us some comments about it?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about what Cecil has done, if I can find it here. Let's see. Cecil. Well, Cecil, okay, I've got it now. You started, is this correct? You started all 3 games on the defensive line. I think
That's in 20, you're right.
Yeah, in 2021, captain of the football team at Cal Poly. But what I love about you more than anything, Cecil, is that you weren't going to college to try to play football at all. You're an academic guy. And what was the major you're in?
Well, right now I'm a social major with the concentration in organizations and a minor in entrepreneurship. So it's basically a sprinkling of business, pretty much. So not too bad.
Go ahead, brother. And you have an incredible mom who we know and, of course, have worked with. And so
We're bringing Eddie back.
We're bringing my dad back. He went off for a little bit. But there he is, Daddy.
There he is. Okay.
This is the captain of the football team. And that's the other thing, you guys. Besides my dad getting the first championship ever at Cal Poly, my dad also played on the football team. Dad, this is Cecil.
Right.
Hey, how are you?
Can you hear us?
If he can't hear, I'm gonna bring him in the car.
Yeah, let's bring him in the car, and we'll keep talking. We're gonna bring my dad in the car, and we're gonna trade places, Cecil. I know it's final, so we're gonna. I keep calling you Cecil. Your name is Miles.
Both work.
But so, tell us a little bit about your sports career, though, while we're trying to get him on so he can hear.
Yeah, so I'm from the San Fernando Valley, which is pretty much in the middle of Southern California. And yeah, I played high school sports, 3 years of varsity, some basic recruiting, and then I just chose Cal Poly because of the high level of academics, as well as like the opportunity to play at a high level Division I football. So I mean, that was always a dream after I knew it was possible, because my whole life I was pretty much just focused on what I could do academically and never really thinking about sports. My focus was my education at first, so I knew don't really last forever, but that education is something that I really wanted to have.
That's right. So now I've heard you got some folks that have been kind of looking at you. So you've got options to do that, or to go into business, or to do whatever it is you want to do. Well, let me wait. We're trying to get my dad. Okay, he's coming now. I'm going to have him sit in front.
You have to sit over here. No, you can sit with you here.
Okay, all right. So
I'm going to go back on the other side.
Okay, all right. Here he comes. He's coming in the car, my dad. I love my daddy so much.
Eddie.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, they think that so many Black people who have had negative opinions of men in their life and the fathers. I haven't had that. I've had the opportunity. Daddy, here, get it. Can you? Okay. Yeah. I've had the opportunity and the example of having just an incredible man in my life, my dad, Edwin Mack, our dad, my sisters as well. They want to make sure we put that in, Leslie and Kelly. But Miles, you had some questions for my dad.
Yeah, I honestly, the first thing I want to ask, well, first of all, I want to say thank you for your service, and thank you for what you've done for sports at Cal Poly, especially with this new scholarship. And I just really, first of all, I want to know, how do you stay so active? I saw you playing golf.
Yeah. Well, it all comes from the fact that I've always liked sports. And so from
a young age?
Yeah, from a young age, I've always liked sports, and so that's where that kind of comes from. And I've always was not looking to win. I was always looking to do the best that I could. So, and when I first went to Cal Poly, I had no idea that I could win the long jump, but I worked hard, and it takes hard work, and not on that Saturday or when you're out on the football field. That's not it. The hard work is when you're at practice and you're doing practice things. That's where the hard work comes in. I would, on track season was in March and May and April, June. But when I would be off and there was no track, my coach said, "You got to get out there and run cross country." But I don't want to run no cross country. This is going to build up your muscles, so you got to get out there. So every Saturday, I would run across country. I wasn't running it fast, but I did it.
Yeah.
And also, don't you still exercise?
Yeah.
He's at 93 going on 94. You walk and you do.
Yeah,
he calls them calisthenics.
Miles was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah, I can't even. I can barely do the bare minimum.
He was doing 2 to 3 miles, but after COVID, he slowed down a little bit. But you still walk, right?
Oh,
Dad?
yeah. I still walk, and in exercising, and people, you're hearing me talking, and they want to go and exercise. But here's what you have to be careful about in exercising. If you, for example, like it's around Christmas time now, and I might not exercise for 2 weeks. So the thing is, you can't go back out there and do the things that you were doing. You know, maybe you could do 5 miles. Don't try to do 5 miles. You're getting started over again. So you got to ease into it. Otherwise, you can hurt yourself.
Yeah, I totally. And I saw you on your Instagram, you were playing the piano, and I just figured that's just a nice way to keep your mind sharp. And I think that's just an amazing addition to
piano
work, just staying on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the piano, and I've always liked playing it. And so, and I've had some good instructors. So I just like it.
When did you start taking piano lessons? How old were you when you started taking piano lessons?
I was I was 12.
Okay, and then
my mother had said, "I want you to take piano lessons," and I said, "Nah, that's for sissies." And but then she said, "Well, look, just try it." So when I was 12 years old and I hadn't graduated to high school yet, so I said, "Yeah, okay." So when I graduated and got on playing football and all that kind of stuff, I didn't want to do it anymore. She asked me, the deal we had made, you try it, and if you don't like it, you don't have to take it. And so I was stupid, and I quit taking piano lessons. One of the things I regretted, the rest of my life. But I did start back when I was in my 60s, and I got a piano teacher, and went back on the piano. But I can look at you and see that you're a big man.
Yeah, a little large.
Over 250 pounds. And you're
not over 250, are you?
I'm actually 285.
Oh, my dad knew what he was talking about. Okay.
So when I was playing with Cal Poly, I was actually I weighed about 130 pounds, but in the program they put 145 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear that.
but anyway,
10-pound weight.
I football was something that I loved, but every year when I would not play football, like when I was in high school, my first year I played on the freshman team, and then when it came time to play the next year, I said, "No, I'm too small. I don't want to do this," So I didn't play. Then when I went to the College of San Mateo, the first year I said, "No, these guys are too big. I'm not going to play." So I missed that, and I didn't play. Then when I went to Cal Poly, there was the Frosh coach at Cal Poly had been at San Jose State, and he had seen me play, and he wanted me to come out to play. But the first year I said, "No, those guys are too big," so I didn't play. So I've missed all that football. But football was secondary. So I love football, but I was really too small to play football.
But you could run fast, huh?
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah, but
you're a punt returner, right? You're a punt returner?
No, yeah, I returned punts and ran kickoffs. And they had a few plays where I would they called me an auxiliary back in those days. There was the first team, and then I would work out with the first team as an auxiliary. back.
You
But-
knew how big he was too. You were right on point, Dad.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, you know, you did tell them that you ran back a touchdown to win that one game in '49 or something like that.
Oh, you mean
Cal
in
Poly?
high school?
Oh,
In
in
high,
high school.
in high
Oh,
school.
But and he still holds records at San Mateo High. So what?
Well, one of the things I'm most proud of is that when I went as a freshman at San Mateo High School, I didn't go varsity track because we had what you call exponents, and you would get so many exponents. You'd take your age, your height, and your weight, and you put those all together, and that determined what you were. Varsity, you know, that they didn't do any of that kind of stuff because you were varsity. And when I went to San Mateo High School, I went as I was a long jumper. It was called broad jump in those days, but I was a long jumper. And I was what they call the tens. It wasn't varsity, but I won that. The next year, I was a 20, what they call 120s, and I won that championship. The next year, they moved me from the 20s to the 30s, and I won that championship. And when I won that championship, I would have won the varsity, but I wasn't on the varsity team. But my jump was better, far further than the varsity team. And the coach said to me, Northern California was the NCS, Northern CIF, yeah. And so my track coach said they had lightweight teams in those at the NCS, CIF, lightweight teams, and I had made a record, and I was the record holder for the division, but that lightweight teams could not go to the state meet. So the coach said, you know, you hold the record here as a lightweight, but you can't go to the state meet, and I think you could do well in the state meet. So I said, okay. So I moved up to the
varsity. Yeah, and you won that too.
Yeah. I won the NCSCIF, which was the big meet. But then after that came the state meet, and I was one of the favorites in the state meet, and I didn't get to go because the first time the trains went on strike was that week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, was that week. And so the guy I had beaten in the long jump in the CIF, which was all in Northern California, he won the state meet. Oh. So, yes. But I couldn't get there. And
you can still remember all this.
I can remember all this because my track coach had said, you know, I'm sorry we couldn't get you there and all that, but you'll forget about it in 20 years. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still angry about it.
What's your question for Miles? You might end up being a big sportscaster or something. We might see you on ESPN or something, Miles.
What I did last week, I'm sitting here thinking, wow, like this is just incredible because just your ability to remember and recall stuff just so vividly is just so incredible. So I'm just like mesmerized. Every word you say, I'm just listening word for word. So it's just so amazing to be able to sit here and listen. But yeah, my next question was, if you could, I know you've given a lot of advice already, but if you could give one tidbit to just young boys and girls, like one key thing that's kept you just so focused and so sharp all these years, what would that be?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think you have to be true to yourself. And when I used to have a bunch of kids that I would work with, and the main thing is you have to first, you can help somebody else, but you first have to know who you are, and then you can kind of give advice to somebody else once you know who you are. And I put God first.
Mm.
And so being a Christian and going by the Christian rules, I read books and stuff that tell you that you have to be sincere when you're following Jesus. You've got to be sincere about what you're doing. And that's about all.
Well, that's
Amen.
amen on that. Okay, Mr. Host Miles, what's your next question for us? I want to see if your mom's on, but what's your next question for us, sir?
Let me see. I'm guaranteed her and my dad are probably watching right now. What was your favorite memory at Cal Poly? But you've given us so many good memories. I mean, I'm trying to think. I know you were speaking about it a little bit earlier, but you were coming because your coach and you were coming at the same time to Cal Poly, but what really interested you the most in the university back then?
Well, now I'm going to be truthful.
Uh-oh.
Cal Poly in those days there were a lot of farms and stuff around. And the school that I would have gone to was San Jose State.
Mm.
And the reason, San Jose State, when I was in high school, nobody, some of the kids that I was in high school with, the people were coming from other colleges asking them to come to their school on scholarships. Nobody ever came to me, and that kind of hurt me. But
yeah,
was that a color issue or just?
No, that wasn't a color issue. Let me finish, and I'll tell you what the issue was. When I finished high school, nobody would come. I went to San Mateo Junior College, and the 2 years I was there, I won the long jump. So now, when it was time for me to go to another school after I finished there, this coach from San Jose State came to my house and said, you know what, you might feel a little bit bad about the fact that no one tried to get you. He said, I've been watching you, and I thought like the rest of them that you were too small and you had reached your potential and you weren't going to get much better. But after you won twice at the College of San Mateo, I felt differently, and I really want you to come to my school. And of course I didn't. The reason I didn't is because it was only 30 miles from San Mateo. And I wanted to get away. I had to get away.
Totally.
And you know who that coach was? His name was Bud Winters. And you remember the guys that held up that hand?
Oh, yeah, the champ at the Olympics, yeah.
In Mexico City.
In Mexico City?
Yeah.
That was Bud Winters was the coach of the San Jose State team.
Oh, yeah, that had John Smith
and Bud Winters is now one of the great coaches that the United States put out.
And even Steve Madden went to Cal Poly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what's his name? John Madden?
John Madden.
Oh, okay. I don't know who Steve Madden is. Oh, Steve Madden. John, I'm thinking about shoes.
Yeah.
And there was Mike Kukro, announces for the Giants. He's in the hall also at Cal Poly. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, okay. Well, But anyway, that's my story, and I'm holding to it.
Okay. Someone wanted to know if you competed against Ollie Matson.
Ollie Matson, no. Ollie Matson was in high school.
Okay.
Who's Ollie Matson now? I'm the slow one.
Yeah, Ollie Matson. Well, yeah, I didn't play with Ollie Matson. No, he was a little behind me, and he was in the Olympics. He ran 400 meters on the relay team in the Olympics one year, but I didn't know him. But on the same team with Ollie Matson was.
I can't help you.
Okay.
Because Jackie Robinson has something to do with something. Jackie
Robinson was first in baseball.
Right.
But Bert Toller.
Bert
Toller.
Toller. Okay. I don't know who that is.
Bert Toller. You probably don't know who it is. But Bert Toller was the first Black professional referee.
Oh, okay.
And Bert played with Ollie Matson on the great teams. He played at USF, and with Ollie Matson, he was an All-American center, and they used to have an all-star game against the professionals in football back in those days, and he was hurt. He hurt his knee in that game and never played professional football. But he was the first Black professional referee.
And he came from your school?
No.
Oh, no, he was there. Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
That's cool.
I met him through, he was refereeing 49er games, and we used to always go out and congratulate him on the job he did, at the football games. And one thing I wanted to ask you about football is I love the game of football, and I still keep up with it. Mm-hmm. But I would like to follow the team, and I know they have programs, and is there some way I could get a magazine, maybe subscribe to a magazine that would have the football information in it?
Yeah,
and I think it would be online now. I don't think they have magazines too much.
Yeah, I know a couple of games during the season they print out a pamphlet of like the whole yearly schedule, and it's got some ads and the roster and stuff like that. So I can definitely get you a copy of that. That's pretty easy.
Oh, okay. I would love that.
I don't think you guys do magazines though anymore. Is it all online or
more of like a booklet?
Oh, but there is a booklet, okay, with the schedule in it.
Physical copy. There is paper.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, you still got paper.
You got any more questions for us, Miles?
No, I mean, we've touched so much, and in between every story you've given, you sprinkled so many key thoughts. So I mean, you answered all my questions without even having me to ask anymore. So that's pretty much.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, you are on scholarship?
Yes.
Do you have to work? I used to work in the cafeteria 2 hours every day, except when I was running track. Then I didn't have to do any work. And I would paint during vacation time. We had a painting school, and I would go and paint with those guys during.
What do you mean, paint pictures or paint buildings?
Paint buildings, paint dorms.
Oh, you would paint
dorms.
Construction crew.
You know, when the kids were out, paint.
Miles, you have to do that?
No.
Yeah. That's what I would.
I had to work a job. I've been really blessed. My parents have been able to really help me out, so I could just focus on that.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Great. Well, this has been so incredibly exciting.
Thank you.
You know, we are trying to raise $150,000 for my dad's scholarship fund, the Edwin Mack
Edwin D. Mack.
Edwin D. Mack Scholarship Fund. And so we want everybody to know that, and go to my dad's page on Instagram, which is Edwin Mack.
Edwin D. Mack.
Edwin D. Mack. And
click the link and you can take you right to the Cal Poly donate page.
Yeah, so that, and for those of you that don't know about Cal Poly, it is a place for you, especially if we know you, and even if we don't. Hi, Bill Stewart, to look up, to check up and think about for your kid, you know, and they might be able to get an Edwin Mack Scholarship, because we're building Edwin D. Mack Scholarship, because we're looking into that, and it's a beautiful campus. So, you know, yeah, their athletic program is great, but they have animal husbandry. They have a lot in
yeah, nearly every field's covered here, from engineering to the arts, agriculture. So I mean, it's a beautiful mix of location and education. You can't really beat it.
You know,
Man, we were
I
there.
have to agree with you on that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, when I was going there, there was a class that the class was year long, and all they did was make a float for the Rose Parade.
Do you guys still make floats for the Rose Parade?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Class where you make floats for the Rose Parade.
That whole class, that was it. That's
Z. Well,
we're getting close to ending.
Yeah, close to the end of it. We want to really thank everybody for coming on and honoring my dad, our granddad, and our great granddad.
Yeah. Shout out to Jenna
And Coach and Karina. Shout out to Cody and to Lorraine, who got Miles on for us. And
his parents are Bruce is on, Mr. and Mrs.
Oh, they're on. Okay.
Oh,
great.
Lorraine, Cecil's on. Okay, so we love that, and we're so proud of you, Miles. We want to let you know that.
Thank you.
And we are expecting great things from you, and you've seen what this 94-year-old man has done.
No pressure.
And we're pressure. We're expecting you to do great things, and maybe one day even have a scholarship of your own. You've got shoulders to stand on, and we're expecting you to do great things. So thank you to everybody. Dad, anything else you want to say?
No, this has been incredible. I've really enjoyed it, and to meet people from the sporting world at Cal Poly is great.
And Mark Little was on too.
Yeah, Mark said, yeah, I saw Mark.
Mark Little, Floyd Little's the late Floyd Little's son, who is in the inducted in the Hall of Fame. We had the opportunity to go see Mark's dad get inducted in the Hall of Fame, and they invited my dad as well. So thank you to everybody. We're really blessed. We appreciate you supporting.
Oh, he's still there.
Oh, hey, Mark, Uncle Mark. And so thank you so much to everyone. And we will see you, is it next week or after Christmas?
Next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hello.
What's
Thank
up?
you so much for watching Carfitable
Yes,
Talks.
thank you.
Please remember to press that like button, and we need you to subscribe. And also,
Leave some comments. Really need to hear from you.
thank you.